The man was betrayed by his teammate and became a meal for the zombies. But when he woke up again, he found himself back to the day before the apocalypse. His girlfriend, who had betrayed him, was still sleeping beside him. 10 years ago, the world had changed drastically. 90% of humanity had turned into insatiable monsters. But along with that, there were countless mysterious wheels that had fallen. Gradually, people discovered the magic crystal in the zombie's head. It's amazing that you can get from the roulette, extract a wide variety of materials, even a special ability of some kind. Therefore, the only remaining human forces for the roulette, an endless struggle has begun. And Yi Zhongming, in order to survive, only the option of obedience can be chosen, even abandoning the principles of being human. After 10 years of countless trials, he finally secured a place for himself, but was ruthlessly betrayed by his teammates, leading to his downfall. I thought the story would end here, but I didn't expect the heavens to give him a chance to be reborn. Since that's the case, he will rely on his 10 years of experience in the end times to live strong. Yi Zhongming quickly put on his clothes for the woman on the bed. Ignoring it completely, he pulled open a drawer nearby, looking at the inheritance left by my parents. In the previous life, I have always been reluctant to use. It's time to put it to good use. It seemed like Yi Zhongming wasn't paying attention to her. The woman loudly questioned him, but all she got was Yi Zhongming's indifferent expression, and he went on to directly expose her. He already knew about her affair with Qin Jun. The woman's face became tense. Her name was Bai Shishir. In the previous life, at the beginning of the apocalypse, Yi Zhongming did everything to protect her, but in return she betrayed him. She chose to rely on Qin Jun. But in the end, the man gave her away for just 3 cans. He gave her away for just 3 cans. The scene shifts to the hospital. Yi Zhongming stuffed a large batch of Y-goods into his bag. Because in the apocalypse, these Y-goods are scarce resources. They have unimaginable uses. Soon he went to the outdoor store. He bought all kinds of protective gear. He packed his backpack full of gear. Just as he was about to pay and leave, he happened to see a mountain climbing axe on the shelf. Without hesitation, he bought it. When everything was ready, Yi Zhongming took a taxi. Under the temptation of gold, the driver stepped on the accelerator. The car, like a runaway horse, sped towards the villa in the distance. Because according to Yi Zhongming's memory, the first doomsday roulette, it should be right there. He must seize the opportunity, obtain powerful equipment through the roulette, and some special ability. Less than 5 minutes, the car reached its destination. But because it's a high-end community, the taxi was stopped outside. But Yi Zhongming was very calm. He said to the driver to drive straight through. If something happens, it's my fault. Hearing this, the driver is also a tough guy. Without hesitation, he rushed forward. Not much time will pass. The C-car is in a deserted place. It came to a gentle halt. However, Yi Zhongming had just gotten out of the car and was immediately confronted by security guards who arrived behind them. Just caught you red-handed. But he didn't panic because of this. But it remains calm, pointed to the sky behind, with a deafening roar. A spaceship that transcends time and space. It slowly appeared in the sky. Takes time. The security guard's mouth was wide open. It's like being able to swallow half a pig in one gulp. At this moment, Yi Zhongming couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Because this is similar to the scene 10 years ago. It's exactly the same. If all this, it is destined to be done again. So Yi Zhongming, I will definitely seize the opportunity to become stronger. As the warship gradually approaches, people who are unaware, still taking pictures and posting on social media. But Yi Zhongming knew very clearly. This warship is about to launch an attack. He made a quick decision and turned to run. In a short time, he reached a detached villa. Yi Zhongming rang the doorbell. He pretended to be a delivery boy. The moment the electric door opened, he rushed in without hesitation. This also made the villa's owner notice Yi Zhongming's abnormality. The woman with a threat. Let him get out quickly. Otherwise I will be in trouble. But Yi Zhongming seemed not to hear. He still stood there motionless. As the woman was about to say more, a loud bang was heard outside, followed by screams. Yi Zhongming knew clearly. The apocalypse is coming. I saw the huge spaceship, launching many giant capsules. They smashed the cars and buildings. On the ground, people who are unaware still want to go forward and check. But they saw those giant capsules suddenly split apart. A green gas straightly sprayed on the passerby. Just a moment later, they turned into twisted zombies. However, the scene, for Yi Zhongming who has experienced the end times, it is already commonplace. Just then, he suddenly noticed that a light came from the kitchen. Yi Zhongming hesitated not at all. Ran right over there. There is a giant golden roulette wheel. It mysteriously appeared in the view. From the gray crystal in the center of the roulette wheel it can be seen. This is the lowest level of roulette. But even so, Yi Zhongming is also very satisfied. The woman beside him was puzzled. How did this thing appear out of nowhere? However, Yi Zhongming paid no heed, because he was among the prizes in the roulette. A strengthening potion has been discovered. It can increase a person's physical capacity by 2 to 3 times. Yi Zhongming has in his hands now. There is no crystal that can turn the roulette wheel. However, just then, he had a new discovery. The original first-level roulette. You only need 5 crystals. And this roulette will need 7 balls. From this we can deduce that, on this roulette wheel, there must be something even more precious. As expected, it's a lucky card. It can enhance a person's special abilities. For example, it can strengthen your physique. Or perhaps have a companion beast. However, the woman next to him was completely bewildered. She saw that there were no more screams outside. So she decided to go out and check. But the moment she opened the door, a zombie rushed over. The woman was immediately thrown to the ground. Just as she was about to be killed, a beam of light flashed. The zombie's head was separated on the spot. The woman mechanically turned her head to look. This is when she realized that it was the man who had just broken into her house who had saved her. Before she could recover, 2 more corpsegoers rushed in from the door. The woman's face turned pale with fear. Fortunately, Yi Zhongming appeared in time. He protected her behind him. Facing the attack of the 2 corpsegoers, Yi Zhongming looked disdainful. With a simple sideways step and a chop, he easily achieved a triple kill. Watching the bloody scene, the woman trembled all over. Yi Zhongming reached out and pulled him up, and asked what his name was. But the answer he got shocked him beyond belief. The woman's name was Mu Xinfeng. She was actually the legendary 9-star powerhouse from his past life. She could fight off thousands of soldiers alone. Such a powerful being would actually be met here. But at this moment Mu Xinfeng was still just a frail woman. She nervously asked Yi Zhongming what had happened outside. Yi Zhongming was not vague. While explaining to Mu Xinfeng, he also picked up the crystal from the zombie's head. With his detailed explanation, Mu Xinfeng also fully understood the situation outside. Can be said that the entire Earth has become a paradise for zombies. At this time, Yi Zhongming also started to calculate. Since Mu Xinfeng was a 9-star powerhouse in the previous life, she must have something extraordinary. He just needed a helper. So he decided to give Mu Xinfeng to quickly brush up on the survival rules of the bereaved world. Firstly, there is the roulette wheel, the foundation upon which humanity thrives. In the apocalypse, most of the supplies come from it. But to start the roulette, to obtain the crystal, you must acquire the zombie's head. The higher the reward on the roulette wheel, the more crystal water you need. So Yi Zhongming turned around, getting ready to go out and hunt some zombies. Before leaving, he did not forget to give instructions to Mu Xinfei. Make sure she closes the door and doesn't come out. The street outside at this moment. The bereaved are wandering aimlessly. but one of them seems to have discovered something. But as soon as it turned its head, it was sent off by Yi Zhongming with a single slash. Facing the sudden change, the zombies were momentarily stunned. Then they all rushed forward at once. But Yi Zhongming is not a simpleton. His body is incredibly agile. He weaved through the corpse crowd with ease. With a powerful leap from Yi Zhongming, after a magnificent attack, the battle came to an end. He crouched down. Start collecting the crystal from the zombies' foreheads. But just then, a cry for help echoed behind them. Yi Zhongming turned his head and looked back. I see a woman, being chased by two widows. She rushed over in a panic. He hid behind Yi Zhongming, facing two zombies that are attacking. Yi Zhongming's eyes emitted a chilling gleam. The next moment, he swung the knife with a sudden force. They were all turned into broken limbs and remains. However, the woman behind him at this moment, it began to convulse violently, opened its big mouth. He lunged towards Yi Zhongming. It was fortunate that he had been prepared. A swift counterpunch, and then he hit the other person on the forehead. Directly gave T a big hole. To face such a scene, Yi Zhongming still had a calm expression on his face. After the recent battle, he obtained 11 Shuchi crystal, in addition to the previous 3, just in time to be at the roulette table. Draw twice in a row. Soon Yi Zhongming, with Muexcianfei, full of curiosity on her face, approached the metal roulette. Take the crystal in your hand. It was placed in the slot. As the crystal disappears, the roulette will begin to spin wildly. In the eyes of the two, filled with anticipation, the pointer began to slow down gradually. Finally, it pointed to an icon with a can. This simply makes Yi Zhongming. I have the urge to cry. Although canned goods are in the apocalypse, it's a rare and valuable luxury. But at the beginning of the end times now, a lot of food hasn't rotted yet. Who would even eat hex cans? This is a complete waste of an opportunity. For this reason, Yi Zhongming decided. Let Muexcianfei have a try too. Perhaps her luck. It will be better than yourself. As the roulette wheel spins once more, the two of them couldn't help but start to anticipate it. But the next second, Yi Zhongming was shocked. This time, the draw was a very precious exclusion card. Although it's not very necessary now. But in the future, when drawing important equipment and skills, the exclusion card will play its true role. Yi Zhongming looked at Mu Xinfu in surprise, asking about her luck. Could it always be this good? However, the answer he got was, drinking a beverage will get another one. Hitting the golden egg will always get a big one. Opening a blind box and getting a rare item. Even in the supermarket's lottery draw. Won a live cow. This almost made Yi Zhongming, who is completely immune to lottery luck, spit blood. Looking at Mu Xinfei, who was still immersed in excitement, Yi Zhongming couldn't help but let out a mischievous smile. Since he has the lottery luck physique, he must make good use of it. The next morning, the sky was just beginning to lighten. Yi Zhongming fully armed himself, preparing to go out and hunt down the unfortunate. And he also gave it to today. Set a small goal to collect 100 crystals. Watching the man's confident back, Muexcianfei also decided to stop being idle. She also needs to make a decision. A meal worthy of 100 crystals. Half an hour. Yi Zhongming returned, breathless. He brought Mu Xinfei 2 pieces of news. Good news is that this area, there are absolutely no living people left. And the zombies in the neighborhood, they have all been cleaned up. However, the bad news is, he searched the entire neighborhood, and only obtained 21 crystals. Looking somewhat dejected, Yi Zhongming, Mu Xinfei comforted him, indicating that these crystals were more than enough to spin the roulette a few times. Soon after, several dishes were served. But looking at the appearance, even a dog would shake its head. However, the man in front of them was devouring the food with gusto. Because for Yi Zhongming, who has experienced the end times, nothing is more terrifying than hunger. After having eaten and drunk to their fill, the two people arrived at the roulette wheel. Then they prepared to take Yi Zhongming, the crystal collected outside, to extract all the supplies from above. Mutation truly lives up to the European emperor physique. Drew it twice in a row. These are all very practical devices. And at that moment he handed the remaining crystals to Yi Zhongming. Let him try it too. But Yi Zhongming's head was practically spinning like a motor. He claimed his luck was terrible. But the next second, Mu Xinfeng cupped his hands and blew on them. Then, with a sincere face, she said, "I've transferred my good luck to you." This made Yi Zhongming blush. Currently, there are 6 remaining rewards on the roulette. The probability of drawing a reinforcement agent is 1 in 6. At this time, Mu Xinfeng asked, "Should I use the exclusion card?" Remove the cookie option. However, the next second, the exclusion card touched the roulette. It started to burn. This made Yi Zhongming directly reveal his expression of eating shit. It turns out that when the card touches the roulette, it means it is used. Since it's destined, Yi Zhongming can only bet on that 1/5 probability. As the roulette spins, 2 people began to pray frantically. Whether it was the Amitabha Buddha in the east, or Amen in the west, they greeted them all. When the pointer stopped at a bottle of green potion, the expressions on their faces were as if they had won $1 million. That's right. This is a bottle of beginner's strengthening potion. It can increase the user's physical functions by at least 3 times. In the early days of the apocalypse, this kind of potion that strengthens the body can be said to be crucial. And at this time, Mutation let Yi Zhongming take the medicine quickly. But he was not in a hurry. They even used strengthening potions and heparin from the hospital. They poured into the tray together. Because doing this you can turn 1 bottle of enhancement potion into 2. He had Mu Xinfei carefully memorize the production process. From now on, she will be in charge of potion brewing. Not long after, 2 bottles of enhancer are right in front of you. Mu Xinfei wanted to ask Yi Zhongming, how could there be medicine water? He made a silent gesture. A clattering sound came from outside. As the sound grew closer, Yi Zhongming didn't hesitate. He pulled Mu Xinfei and ran upstairs. This was a kind of sound emitted by mutated bedbugs. Due to viral infection, these bedbugs evolved into man-eating bugs. Although they have weak individual combat power, they hunt in groups. One is found and it's a whole legion. In just a moment, these mutated bedbugs broke the door to pieces. They swarmed towards Yi Zhongming and Mu Xinfu on the 2nd floor. Facing the dense swarm of monsters, Yi Zhongming hurriedly pulled Mu Xinfu and hid in the bedroom on the 2nd floor. He also used a wardrobe to block the door. Just when the 2 thought they were safe, a knock came from outside. This startled Mu Xinfu. She jumped directly into Yi Zhongming's arms. Looking at the door that is constantly being slammed, it won't hold out for much longer. Therefore, Yi Zhongming decided to have Mu Xinfu hide in the bathroom. He himself prepared to deal with the monster that was about to break down the door. He snatched out the enhanced potion obtained from the roulette wheel. Then he swallowed it without hesitation. Takes time. A wave of pain surged through his body. Yi Zhongming was in so much pain that he knelt on the ground. Just at this critical moment, the monster actually broke down the door. He was knocked down on the spot. Did he die like that? Of course not. Behold, a sharp great sword pierced the monster instantly. Immediately a red figure appears. He emerged from the pile of monsters. His eyes glowed red, like a reaper from hell. Because of the side effects of the medicine, Yi Zhongming roared in pain. Soon these monsters gathered towards him again. Seeing this scene, Yi Zhongming did not back down. He roared and charged forward, determined to slay all these monsters. With a flurry of chopping, the battle soon came to an end. By this time, Yi Zhongming was breathless from exhaustion. Looking at the scattered limbs and remains, he couldn't help but wonder, because of the appearance of the stink bug swarm. There will always be a mother bug. If you don't solve it, this will continue to breed endlessly. Just as Yi Zhongming was pondering, a towering figure appeared before them. That's right. It is undoubtedly the mother insect. It saw its descendants all perish. A burst of anger, and a green liquid spurted out. A wave of energy surged towards Yi Zhongming. It was fortunate that he reacted swiftly. It was a close call, and the places splashed with liquid. It seems to be corroded with a sizzling sound. But this did not stop Yi Zhongming. Feeling any fear at all, the mother insect charged again. Yi Zhongming also decided to no longer hold back. Suddenly, he leaped up. He soared above the mother bug. Then a swift, brutal cut pierced its back. Under the piercing sting of pain, the mother insect let out a painful cry. May the bell of the leaves ring, with the intention of taking advantage of your weakness. After turning the handle of the knife, he plunged it in with another force. In an instant, the mother insect seemed to have lost all its strength. It fell down with a thud. It was only then that Yi Zhongming knelt and reached the bathroom. But as soon as he opened the door, Mu Xinfu rushed into his arms. This caused Yi Zhongming to comfort her for a while. She gradually regained her sanity. But as soon as she turned around, she saw a scene of blood and flesh. Mu Xianfei is currently preoccupied with these corpses. When it comes to cleaning, how do you feel? Yi Zhongming, however, stated, these are all excellent sashimi. Who could have imagined these monsters before us? After being killed by humans again, the flesh on my body can actually be eaten. It seems that, at the very beginning of the apocalypse, you can also find them in supermarkets and residential buildings. Find a variety of plentiful food. As time goes by, they will become very scarce. And at this point, there are only 3 ways to obtain food. First, leftover food that hasn't spoiled. Second, obtain rewards by spinning the roulette. Third, to refine the corpses of these monsters into jerky. Therefore, they need to prepare in advance. It is said that they have to eat monsters. Mu Xinfeng's eyes widened. However, Yi Zhongming said, eating that stuff is better than eating people. With no choice, Mu Xinfeng fully armed herself and launched a frenzied attack on the wreckage. In a short moment, large and small pieces of meat are scattered in the basin. They are all placed in the basin. But at this moment, Yi Zhongming walked over with a backpack on his back. He said he was going out to collect more zombie crystals. Thus, under Mu Xinfeng's gaze, Yi Zhongming embarked on a new adventure. This time he needs to go to a farther place to find out about the surrounding information. On the street, there are all kinds of zombies and human remains everywhere. But Yi Zhongming didn't care. Still rushing forward. Just around a corner, a sudden cry for help. And that startled him. Yi Zhongming couldn't help but curse inwardly. What a fool. What a loud sound. Are you trying to lure all the zombies in the entire neighborhood? I see a turn in the corner. A woman sits on the ground, crying out for help loudly. Yi Zhongming saw this. He immediately covered her mouth and shouted loudly, "Shut your mouth quickly." However, it's too late. A large number of bereaved people, upon hearing the sound, they swarmed towards them. It looked like the woman was about to be knocked down. Unfortunately, Yi Zhongming could only draw his great sword. He swung towards the crowd. Because there are too many of them, he could only let the woman go first. They themselves would cover from behind. In the midst of chaos, a woman unexpectedly discovers a door. She hesitated no more and plunged in. Then she called out to Yi Zhongming outside. She urged him to come in quickly. As the bereaved one frantically chased after her, Yi Zhongming rushed in with all his might. But just as the door was closing, a hand suddenly reached in. Both of them were instantly pale with fright. They immediately turned and ran upstairs. However, the woman's physical strength seemed to have reached its limit. She gasped for breath, and her speed slowed down significantly. Just then, a widower suddenly grabbed a woman's leg. He pulled her down the stairs forcefully. Yi Zhongming saw this. Picking up the large K-knife, he swung his axe towards the zombie. And the staircase at this moment. They surrounded it completely. Just then, an incredibly intense light erupted outside. The scene inside the building is clearly illuminated. I see outside the window. A white glowing object falls from the sky. Yi Zhongming turned his head and looked. Immediately showed a shocked expression. It turns out to be the key to the secret realm. He had heard of it in his past life. This is one of the most precious things in the final chapter. Because the secret realm key. This is the only way to reach the secret realm. While the high-level powerhouses of the past. There is nothing that does not yearn for it. Yi Zhongming made up his mind. The key to the secret realm must be your own. But just as he was lost in thought, the woman behind him suddenly shouted, "Watch out!" A zombie suddenly lunged forward, towards Yi Zhongming's little brother, and bit down fiercely. This scared him so much, that cold sweat instantly broke out. He quickly punched out, and slammed it into the face of the oncoming zombie. Yi Zhongming clutched his crotch, and started cursing loudly. He was also enraged at this point. Seeing that the width of the hallway was perfect for offense and defense, he decided to make a clean break here, with these zombies. Suddenly a gray hand. He lunged towards Yi Zhongming. However, he was not in a hurry. The great sword was just a casual swing. That just grayish-white hand. It flashed past the woman's eyes. The green liquid splattered everywhere. Just a few days ago. Women also have suitors. The most beautiful internet celebrity's fame and fortune. The most beautiful internet celebrity, Liang Chu-in. Knowledge. It's like he's a favorite of the heavens. It's just a matter of a few days. Everything has completely changed. Family, friends, they have all become those man-eating monsters. She knelt on the ground helplessly, thinking that she was about to die. But she saw that those who had been fighting fiercely just now were all lying on the ground. The woman immediately burst into tears of joy. She didn't expect this man to be so strong. He actually killed all the undead in front of her. A scolding voice pulled the girl back from her thoughts. Don't say such things. Don't just sit there. The downstairs is full of zombies. It's impossible to go downstairs. We have to go to the rooftop to see if there are any other ways down. Then we went to the rooftop. But to our surprise, there were quite a few survivors up there. Suddenly, a yellow-haired guy with a baseball bat walked over. He questioned us, asking what we wanted. Why did we bring the zombies here? I immediately explained that we had no ill intent. Because the downstairs is full of zombies, we wanted to see if there are any other ways down. The yellow-haired guy relaxed his guard. He said that the building on the east side of the balcony was very close. You can go and see if you can jump over there. Then I immediately went to the east side to check the situation. Visually, it is about 5 meters away. For me, it's a piece of cake. So I immediately decided to jump over from here. But just then, the girl suddenly pulled on my clothes. Then she begged me not to leave her behind. At this moment, with my maternal heart overflowing, I said, "Then you carry the backpack." Then I tied her and me together with a rope. At this time, the yellow-haired guy behind me said with a smile, "Brother, give me the bag. You're carrying a personal bag and such a big one, you definitely can't jump over it. Don't worry, it'll help you throw the bag over." I know very well that if I give the bag to him, it's like throwing a meat bun to a dog. So I resolutely refused his kindness. At this time, I saw the yellow-haired guy get angry and furious and said, "Either leave your bag or lose your hand." But facing his threat, I didn't compromise. Instead, I showed a mischievous smile. Because I bought the German team on a whim. I brought my girlfriend to the rooftop to meet. Seeing this, the Argentine fans beside me, I quickly stepped forward to persuade us not to act rashly. But before that person could finish speaking, I jumped from a 100-meter-high building. Then with a splash, I landed on the building across the street. I knew it was not the time to be on this floor. I had to quickly find the secret key. This is the only way to go to Qatar to watch the final. Then I rushed towards the location of the secret key. Soon we arrived at a school. I clearly remember that the key was probably dropped here. And at this time, there were a few survivors in the classroom building resisting the zombie attack. Seeing someone come to the school, a female student immediately started shouting for help to us. I didn't pay any attention to it. Instead, I urged the girl to leave quickly. It would be troublesome if the corpse arrived. Seeing this, the girl immediately followed me, scurrying along. She kept muttering, "You're so powerful, why don't you save them?" Hearing this, I sternly shouted, "You're in a difficult situation yourself. You're not even able to save yourself. How dare you worry about others? This is the end of the world. I am not a savior, and I can't save everyone. Don't think that others should save you. In the critical moment, you're not even as good as a pack of instant noodles." Upon hearing this, the girl immediately expressed her gratitude for saving her life just now, and for not leaving her behind. "My name is Liang Chu-in. I will be obedient from now on." After that, we continued to search for the secret realm key. But after searching around, we still couldn't find any clues. So I decided to find a high point to observe the situation. Let Liang Chu-in hide herself. They'll be right back. Then I climbed up the teaching building. Unexpectedly, the noise alarmed the mourners in the classroom. Just as the mourners were about to attack me, I stepped directly on the zombie's head. The moment it landed, I immediately drew my weapon. Then, with a wild surge, he slashed off the victim's head with a single stroke. Came as a complete surprise to me. There were actually 3 survivors left in the classroom. Seeing this, one of the teachers immediately stepped forward to express their gratitude to me. Then they pleaded with me to help them leave here. I did not answer her request. Instead, he asked them if they had seen a beam of light fall here. Upon hearing this, 2 students immediately shook their heads, indicating that they had not seen anything. The teacher, however, firmly stated that she saw it, and also know the exact landing point of the light column. Seeing this, I immediately asked her where she had dropped it. The teacher, however, demanded that I take them away from here, to tell me the exact location. I said that there are too many dead bodies outside, so I can't guarantee the safety of 3 people at the same time. With my abilities, I can only take 2 people away. When I said this, the short-haired student immediately panicked and said, "How are we supposed to choose? Can't you try harder to take one more? I think this is unreasonable." Hearing this, I grinned and said, "Little sister, there is no such thing as reason in the apocalypse. Only strong and weak. Either you stay here and wait. I'll find it myself. Either you tell me your location. I took 2 people with me. You choose for yourselves." I would crown her the most beautiful female teacher in the apocalypse. It's not because of her looks that are particularly stunning. It is not because of her beauty, but because her heart is truly beautiful. To learn that I am with 2 students, when only 2 can survive. The teacher without hesitation gave the chance of survival to the student. Seeing this, I immediately promised to safely escort the 2 students out. Now you can tell me the specific location, right? But unexpectedly, the teacher said that after you take them out, I will naturally write the location on paper and throw it downstairs. It seems that this teacher is quite secretive. He really put a lot of effort into ensuring the students' survival. Then I said coldly, "I hope you won't regret the decision you made today. So both of you please follow me now." After saying that, I opened the door and kicked the doorstop out with 1 foot. Then I shouted, "Follow me closely." Then I took the 2 girls and ran downstairs. But soon I realized something was wrong. The whole way was eerily quiet. It seems like there wasn't even a single zombie. So I immediately told everyone to slow down. As the saying goes, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. Sure enough. Just then, a monster was sneaking towards the girls step by step. And at this moment, the 2 girls were completely unaware of the danger that had silently approached. Suddenly, the monster stretched out its clawed hands. It began to caress the girl's hair. The girl immediately felt a chill in the back of her head. But when she turned to look behind her, her bladder trembled and she almost wet herself. The monster opened its hippo-like maw and bit the girl. In a critical moment, I immediately threw the weapon in my hand at the monster. I heard a whoosh sound. One of the monster's lips fell to the ground. A heart-wrenching scream echoed through the entire building. Enraged, the monster swung at me with all its might. Instead of retreating, I met its attack head-on. However, my punch did not cause any damage. Seeing this, I delivered a beautiful spinning kick to its forehead. This kick had full power, but it seemed to have no effect. Just then, I was grabbed by the monster's hand, and it held my calf. Subsequently, the monster exerted all its strength and threw me to the ground. After seeing this scene, the girl felt like a child in her heart. If the older brother can't defeat this monster, we won't escape, not one of us. At this moment, I am seriously injured and unable to move. Suddenly, the monster raised its fists high. Then, he used all his strength and slammed me twice. Is my miserable life ending like this? If SS sees this kind of monster before him, give you 3 girls like this, do you dare to go up? I didn't even think about it, I just charged forward. However, I was so aggressive, but the monster treated me like a fool. Before I could understand the situation, I was knocked to the ground by the monster. At this moment, the monster suddenly raised its fist above its head. Then, with all its might, it struck me twice. At the critical moment, I heard a bang. The monster was sent flying northwest with a single shot. But I'm not in a good state either. The blow I just received has caused my right hand to go numb. Just then, a series of thumps came from the hallway. As the footsteps drew closer, the girl's heart leaped into her throat. I suddenly realized, could it be that the gunshot just now had attracted the nearby undead? I immediately shielded the 2 girls behind me. But the next second, my jaw dropped at the sight before me. Before I could react, Liang Chuyin ran up from downstairs and leaped into my arms. Seeing that it wasn't a zombie, the 2 girls breathed a sigh of relief. At this moment, Liang Chuyin said in a flustered voice, I finally found you. Just now, a sudden beam of light shone from the Multimedia Center. Then, a large number of the undead surged towards it. I was scared alone down there, so I ran up here to find you. Hearing this, I instantly understood everything. The only source of light that could attract a large number of the undead is the light emitted by the roulette. It's really a case of searching high and low, but finding it unexpectedly. It's a stroke of luck. Then, I immediately led everyone back downstairs. We quickly exited the classroom building. After seeing that the students were all safe and sound, the teacher immediately threw down a paper with the specific W location on it. I eagerly began to look at the paper after I received it. It turned out that the key was dropped at the construction site nearby. No wonder I couldn't find it for so long. Most people wouldn't even notice that place. Since that's the case, the most urgent thing is to find the roulette. Then we went to the Multimedia Center. After seeing the corpse inside, the 2 girls immediately questioned, why did you bring us to a place with a corpse? Are you going to get rid of us after you get the information you want? I want to use us as bait for the undead, right? Hearing this, I immediately shouted sternly, this is the apocalypse now. Tell me where there aren't any undead. Do you have delusional fantasies? Using you as bait? I'm not that low. You wait outside. They'll be right back. Having said that, I stormed into the Multimedia Center alone. However, as soon as I entered, I found a swarm of undead. Fortunately, there were no mutated monsters like the ones earlier. I knew this would be another fierce battle, so I quickly grabbed my right shoulder. Then, with a click, the severed arm was reattached. At the same time, the short-haired girl quietly pulled the long-haired girl aside. She said that, with so many zombies around, Yi Zhongming was definitely going to be trapped. Instead of waiting here foolishly, we should find a place to hide. With that, she pulled the long-haired girl and turned to leave. Little did she know that this foolish act would lead her down a path of evil. Who would have thought that this seemingly harmless girl would be a beast worse than a chinso? When attacked by a thanghu, the girl slipped and fell to the ground. At this time, her best friend did not abandon her and run away. Instead, she risked her life to help her up. However, the moment the best friend helped the girl up, This despicable creature directly pushed the best friend who saved her towards the zombie. Then she ran away without looking back. It turned out that just now, after I entered the Multimedia Center, the girl, because she didn't believe I could come back, so she took her best friend and quietly left, leaving Liang Chuyin alone outside waiting. And after a fierce battle with the dead, I finally completely eliminated all the zombies. As I thought, the only thing that could attract so many dead was the doomsday wheel. But what I didn't expect was that this was actually a very rare tricolored wheel. In the apocalypse, there are not only regular wheels with levels from 1 to 9, but also some special multicolored wheels. They are divided into tricolored wheels, 7-colored wheels, and 9-colored wheels. Regular wheels can get items and food, while multicolored wheels, in addition to giving humans powerful combat skills, can also give humans various incredible auxiliary skills. I never thought that I, a 22-year veteran, would be so lucky to find a 3-color roulette. Could it be that Mu Xinfei passed her good fortune to me? But on the other side, a pair of eyes is watching Liang Chuyin in the dark, and she is completely unaware that danger is approaching quietly. Just then, a black shadow is quietly approaching her step by step. Before Liang Chuyin could react, the man suddenly grabbed her waist from behind. Seeing this, Liang Chuyin shouted, "Who are you? Let me go!" But at this moment, another sleazy man emerged from the corner. He muttered, "This beauty is really good. Quickly take it back and let the master have some fun." In the blink of an eye, Liang Chuyin was brought back to the den by these people. Then the beast just threw her down to the ground. Seeing this, Liang Chuyin hurriedly shouted to Yi Zhongming, "Quick! Save me!" At this moment, the beast disdainfully said, "Little beauty, you should save some energy. Even if you scream your lungs out, no one will come to save you." As soon as the words left his mouth, the sharp blade pierced the wealthy man's palm suddenly. The heart-wrenching screams echoed through the entire building. At this moment, the beast felt the pain and pulled out the sharp blade on its palm. Then he yelled, "Do you know who I am? My 5th brother will definitely not let you go." I didn't even wait for him to finish his words. I punched him hard in the chest. Then I kicked him with a powerful leg. The kick landed right on his face. After taking care of those 2 little guys, I asked Liang Chuyin where the other 2 girls were. She sighed and said, "They thought you wouldn't make it out alive, so they went there together." Following Liang Chuying's directions, we soon found the short-haired girl who had escaped from the zombies. Seeing this, she immediately lied that her friend was too slow, and unfortunately fell into the hands of the zombies, and said he was wrong. He will never run around again. Hearing this, I said that it's okay as long as he knows he was wrong. The Multimedia Center is very safe now. I've cleaned up all the corpses in there. Go to the Multimedia Center and wait for me. I'm going to bring someone back. When this woman heard someone knocking on the door, she immediately picked up broken glass to cut her throat. Because this is the end of the world where the dead roam freely. At this moment, the dead were surrounding the door. To die with dignity, she decided to end her life in this way. In a critical moment, I kicked open the door. I prevented her from doing something foolish. Seeing that she was not a corpse, Mr. Liu stopped his actions. Then he threw himself into my arms and cried, "I thought I was doomed. Thank you for not leaving me." Meanwhile, Liang Chuyin and the short-haired girl were collecting magic crystals as I instructed. Then I brought Mr. Liu over to join them. Seeing that his student was still alive, Mr. Liu quickly rushed forward and hugged the short-haired girl. Then he asked where the girl with long hair went. After learning that she was in the hands of zombies, Mr. Liu immediately began to blame himself. It's not an accident at all. It was the short-haired girl who pushed her friend to the brink of despair. Seeing this, the girl with short hair immediately started acting up again. She said that if Yi Zhongming hadn't been unwilling to save everyone at the same time, that wouldn't happen then. It was those people who indirectly harmed the long-haired girl. Upon hearing this, Liang Chuyin immediately shouted sharply, "If you hadn't ignored the advice at the time, he wants to take her away with him." A fan animation. Will she be in the hands of the bereaved? However, the short-haired girl became furious and shouted, "You are deliberately trying to harm us. You want to use us as bait for the zombies." But as soon as she finished speaking, I slapped her across the face with a large fan. Then I said coldly, "Remember to think before you speak in the future. I can save you, but I can also send you back. I hope this slap will wake you up. In this world overrun by the undead, every extra person I carry is a danger. I have no obligation to save you. It's my duty to save you. Not saving you is my responsibility. Do you understand?" Seeing this, Teacher Lu quickly stepped forward to smooth things over. He said that the child was not very good at talking. "Please don't mind. We are very grateful for your life-saving grace." After reprimanding this ungrateful person, I took everyone to the location where the roulette appeared. Seeing this, Liang Chuing immediately handed the magic crystals she had collected to me. After pouring these magic crystals into the energy slot, the roulette began to spin immediately. Soon, the pointer stopped at the red area. A box flew out from inside. I immediately opened the box. My profession. When I saw the profession inside, I was shocked. Enchanting. Because this profession I drew could not make me a dragon-slaying hero. At that moment, my mood plummeted to the bottom. I didn't expect that the magic crystals I had worked so hard to get ended up drawing such a useless profession. But soon I noticed the 5-colored emblem in the box. Aren't emblems usually only one color? But when I took another look at the instructions, I instantly understood everything. This craftsman profession can not only manufacture and modify weapons, and it also comes with 5 skills: forging, enchanting, inlay, and so on. Originally, each color of the badge represented a kind of ability. With these skills, the power of my weapon will make a qualitative leap. And there are still a lot of the dead man's magic items that haven't been taken down. So I immediately asked everyone to help collect magic crystals. It is essential to draw a few more skills for backup. But right now I have to do something more important. Then I handed the backpack to Liang Chuin. I said there were 3 days' worth of food and some emergency medicine in it. Now I'm handing it over to you to keep. Hearing this, Liang Chuin asked with a look of disappointment, "Are you going to go it alone again? You'll need to retrieve the key to the secret realm first. It's actually more peaceful here. You stay here and continue collecting the magic crystals for me. They'll be right back." "Artisan forging art," I said, and picked up a stick and performed the forging art. The next second, the ordinary stick turned into a magic spear in an instant. The delicate wooden spear turned into a wooden spear. Then I gave the weapon to them for self-defense. Then I went to the nearby construction site alone. However, as soon as I entered the construction site to check the situation, I saw a dark shadow fall from the sky, so I instinctively caught the falling object. But I found it wasn't a thing that fell down, but a girl in military uniform. Just as I was face to face with the girl suddenly did a backflip and jumped out of my arms. Then the girl directly used a grappling technique to quickly subdue me. Seeing this, I quickly shouted, "Are you sick? How dare you treat a lifesaver like this?" But the girl still maintained an attitude of questioning a criminal. She questioned who I was and why I was here. Seeing that reasoning didn't work with her, I immediately broke free with brute force. Then I grabbed her neck and counter-questioned her. "Can you speak properly now?" But at that moment, a bullet suddenly flew towards us. Fortunately, I dodged it with quick reflexes. Seeing this, I immediately shielded my girl and pushed her behind the wall. After hearing the guard's explanation, I learned that these were the ones chasing her. They were escaped prisoners. After hearing this, Yi Zhongming felt relieved. Because in the apocalypse of his previous life, the most ruthless group of people were those who had served time in prison. Yi Zhongming didn't have to hold back anymore. But the problem was that they had weapons. The armory in the prison was completely ransacked by them, and the several criminals across from him knew they had no weapons. They had already shown signs of madness. I haven't killed anyone in a long time. A one-shot headshot is the most satisfying. Unexpectedly, with a bang, the man was shot in the head. They panicked. They used firepower to suppress him. But they didn't expect Yi Zhongmiao to appear above them. Yi Zhongming suppressed them with a handgun, while the guards charged into the crowd very fiercely. The guards did not intend to kill, but Yi Zhongji directly shot him down. The guard rushed towards Yi Zhongming. He has given up resistance. Why do you still shoot? Yi Zhongming said lightly. Have you ever seen women in the apocalypse begging for your help? With children, with young girls. Not begging for help because of the zombies' attack, but begging for help because they were abused by these criminals. In the last life, my ex-girlfriend, Bai Shirshir, was killed by this kind of person. And they are criminals who should be executed. So to these scum, I will never show mercy. The guard looked at his cold profile and thought, he is so young. He killed the prisoner without hesitation. What has he been through? Why has he become so cold-blooded? The two of them have reached the location where the secret realm key fell. The guard asked Yi Zhongmiao what he was looking for. Yi Zhongming said he lost a very important key. He must find it today. The guard beside him kept asking. Yi Zhongming had to say it was a key with a special design. A kind of key that you can tell at a glance. So the guard also helped out. The sky was about to get dark. The secret realm key would emit a dazzling light, making it easier to find. Yi Zhongming was thinking about what was behind him when he heard a voice. I found it, look! Yi Zhongji turned around quickly. No wonder it's us, sir. So fast to find. WC. What the heck is this? I asked the guard to find the key. Unexpectedly, he really found a key. This key is indeed special, but it's not this one. She threw it away immediately. The key fell behind her. A dog paw reached out. The guard seemed to have noticed it too. Is there a dog over there? Yi Zhongming was a little confused. The woman pointed to that side again and said, my eyesight is very good. It's right where I lost my keys just now. In the mist, a green eye shone. Oh no. It's a mutated dog. The giant dog rushed over. It's a second stage mutated dog. Yi Zhongming fired 2 shots, but it dodged them. Bad, the guards nearby were helpless too. Because the giant dog was too fast, but what was unexpected was, this giant dog pounced on Yi Zhongming, but it didn't hurt him. Instead, it kept licking his cheeks. Full of excitement. What's going on with this dog? The guard beside him said, the dog seems to be trying to please you. Yi Zhongming took a closer look. This tail, wait a minute. Could it be? At this moment, he remembered his childhood. He had once saved a puppy from under the feet of a drunkard. The puppy had grown up with him. Yi Zhongming named him Yi Dihuangwan. The guard looked at the dog. It's your dog. Then? But its name is really strange, said Yi Zhongming. It was a stray dog I had fed before. When it was young, it looked like a small yellow ball. So I gave it the nickname Dihuangwan. Before I could finish speaking, Dihuangwan started licking it again. The guard smiled with satisfaction. This person also has a soft side. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, 3 women were gathered around the table. The woman with short hair stood up and pointed at Liang Chuyin. Is there any food in that backpack? Liang Chuyin said there wasn't. But the woman with short hair immediately became agitated. Are you kidding me? I clearly saw meat cans in there just now. Why don't you share it? Liang Chuyin is also stubborn. You're lucky to get something to eat. If you don't want to eat, spit out the cookies. I didn't expect this short-haired girl to be so shameless. She directly rushed over to snatch Liang Chuyin, who was also anxious. This is what Yi Zhongming entrusted me to keep. You have no right to touch it. The short-haired girl kept on being shameless and stubborn. Finally, she calmed down under the persuasion of Teacher Piyu. Meanwhile, outside, Yi Zhongming and the other are still searching for the secret realm key. Yi Zhongming saw a glimmer of light in the darkness. This light, could it be? Yi Zhongming frantically dug down, and sure enough, it's truly the secret realm key. I finally found you, and just then, the guards are also happy for Yi Zhongming. But without noticing, a tentacle reached out. A quick glance. It's a giant mutated lizard. This woman is about to be eaten by the monster. However, just then, a man appeared, his light blade slashed down. This man has a red eye effect when he appears. He directly severed the giant lizard's tongue. However, this didn't cause much damage to the lizard. Yi Zhongming then blinded one of the lizard's eyes. The lizard has already fallen into a frenzy. As it was about to rush towards Yi Zhongming, De Wangwan stood in front of Yi Zhongming. It let out a roar at the lizard. Yi Zhongming told it to get out of the way. But De Wangwan simply wouldn't listen. It rushed forward and began to bite the lizard. The lizard swished its tail and sent De Wangwan flying. De Wangwan was about to give up. The lizard was about to finish it off. Yi Zhongming rushed forward to stop it. He was then knocked flying by a palm strike. The lizard opened its mouth to swallow Yi Zhongming. At that moment, a sharp blade flew towards it, thrown by a guard. He instantly sliced him down. Yi Zhongming sat on the ground, exhausted. He's truly a guard, Yi Zhongming said, stroking the head of Dai Wangwan. Although you're a dog, you never flinch when things happen. Well done. Immediately, Dai Wangwan began to lick him all over. The guards nearby were all dumbfounded. Since the matter has been resolved, it's time for them to part ways. After all, they're not on the same side. The guard told Yi Zhongming to leave. You found the key. Yi Zhongming was still a little dazed. Is our fighting friendship over? The fork sighed and continued to say, actually, I have an unrequested favor. You see, the situation is so dangerous now. The environment is harsh and there are many bad people. If we form a team, it would be good to have each other's back. The guard stroked his chin and pondered for a moment. Yi Zhongming lowered his head. Why have I become so humble? And at this moment, the guard was scrutinizing Yi Zhongming. Okay. Although your behavior is a bit out of line, I don't think you're a bad person. And then he reached out his hand. Yi Zhongming also responded. I am Yi Zhongming. I am Yi Mo Yi. Yi Zhongming and Mo Yi were about to go back. Unexpectedly, they were stopped by two hooligans behind them. It turned out that these two were here to avenge their brother. One of them took out a gun and was about to shoot Yi Zhongming. But after a while, there was no gunshot. The man with the gun looked awkwardly behind him. Hey, why won't it go off? Said the person behind him. You're a genius. You didn't unlock the safety. What? I'm a security guard. What is a safety? I'm a security guard. Eve never seen a real gun. I'm a security guard. The other brothers were stunned. I am a security guard. I don't know how to use a gun. Yet I'm carrying one to show off. Just then, Di Huangwan jumped up from below. Both of them were stunned. Mo Yi took the opportunity to rush forward. He dealt with both of them in a few moves. Yi Zhongming beside him was also stunned. Such amazing fighting skills. I must never offend him in the future. The two hooligans were tied up. Yi Zhongming said to them, tell me who your big brother is if you don't want to lose too much blood. Meanwhile, Big Brother was ordering his men to remove the crystal from the dead man's head. However, these subordinates don't understand anything. 5 elder brother just gave them a hint, and they understood. Anyway, these things will be useful. The scene shifts to the 3 women. Everyone is resting. But the short-haired woman opened her eyes. She looked at Liang Chuing across from her and stood up, holding a sharp shard in her hand. Her eyes were filled with evil. Thinking to herself, Liang Chuing relies on Yi Zhongming's support. She has been bullying and oppressing me everywhere. Now, I'm going to make you leave this world forever. Just as she was about to attack, a voice called out to her. It was Ms. Park. As a result, she could only pretend to have a stomachache and go to the restroom. Thus, she left with the appearance of a wolf. The short-haired woman in the restroom was again thinking this and that. But just then, the door to the room was slammed frantically. All 3 of them became tense. The teacher. What's going on? Soon, the door was opened. A group of hooligans came in. Hey, sure enough, there's a lady in there. The 3 of them panicked. Liang Chuing was immediately grabbed by the mouth by a man. And Ms. Park was embraced around the waist by one of the boys who was discovered to have a unique physique. Don't be afraid, teacher. Do you still recognize me? Who are you? I used to be a student at this school. I even took your class. In this way, all 3 of them were coerced by the hooligans. Meanwhile, Yi Zhongming was here. They have already found out the identity of the fifth brother and the location of his hideout. Yi wanted to go back to the station to bring more people. However, this is not Yi Zhongming's style. He wanted to raid the hideout directly. Yi said, "Then I'll go with you. By the way, what is that key you had before?" Yi Zhongming said, "It's a key to the secret realm which can unlock the future." Mo Ye was a little confused. Is the future opening really that mysterious? Yi Zhongming replied, "Haven't you seen it? Sadness. Monsters, crystals, the world has changed. Beyond your imagination." Mo Ye asked again, "You're speaking in riddles. When can we use these keys?" "Of course, when we are strong enough." The scene returns to the three women. The short-haired woman has not yet been caught. Behind her is a fat tiger, The little mouse continues to run. "They'll break your limbs when I catch you. You won't be able to run anymore." At this moment, the short-haired woman has no way out. Fat Tiger also surrounded her. Fat Tiger grabbed the short-haired woman's face with his palm. "Run. You women always dislike me. Mock me. Avoid me. But now it's the end of the world. I have plenty of opportunities to keep you with me." The short-haired woman started to use her powers again. "No, I won't leave you. I don't mock you." The short-haired girl constantly flattered Fatty, and finally, Fatty chose to believe her, and took her back to his den. The short-haired girl wanted to join these hooligans. Dongji asked, "Do you really want to join?" The short-haired girl said earnestly, "Yes, just tell me what to do." Unexpectedly, Dongji pointed at Liang Chuing and said, "Okay, this person is your friend. Go and give her a good beating." The short-haired girl hesitated not at all. She went over and slapped her. The short-haired woman has been wanting to do this for a long time. Next to Dongji also showed a perverted smile. Liang Chuing's face was slapped red. The short-haired woman held her head down and said, Your face. It's getting more and more unpleasant to look at." Behind Dongji said, "It's over. You are eligible to join us." And now things get really interesting. These hooligans were discussing how to overthrow the ruler. They have long been unable to resist the fifth brother. The crowd erupted in a frenzy. Like that, this Dongziji became their new leader. And now, they are going to the canteen to wait for their fifth brother to come back. Dongziji just entered the canteen. But he was hit on the head by a bone. Who threw it? "Oh, you're back after just finishing your meal. Looks like we're all lucky." It was Yi Zhongming. Dongziji was completely stunned. He actually ate the Dajo braised chicken that he had been saving. "No, wait. Who the heck are you? How did you get here?" Yi Zhongming said that you were going to kill him. Now that he has come to you, is it the person Lao Wu wants? Lao Dao and his men have failed? Yi Zhongming guessed his thoughts. Your two younger brothers have been dealt with. Now it's your turn. However, this made Yi Zhongming feel uneasy. They pushed Liang Chuyin out. "Dong zi ge feng kuang chao feng. You're not very good. Are you?" Mo Yi couldn't help but scold the opposite side a few words. Dong Ziger continued to make fun of him. However, Yi Zhongming said, "Unfortunately, this woman and I have no relationship. We are just using each other. However, your dirty hands and your foul mouth, are you not going to want them anymore?" Then came a flurry of punches. Yi Zhongming still said, "You clowns." Dongzi saw that he couldn't win. He immediately called for people to surround him. But these people were no match for Yi Zhongming. 3 blows and they were all taken care of, but the next moment, it was the same scene as before. "This teacher is your person, right? Such a pretty face, it's a shame to ruin it." Yi Zhongming finally showed fear. Dongzi sneered. Again. Yi Zhongming calmed down. "This woman has nothing to do with me." But Dongzi Ji completely didn't believe it, and he pretended. "All these women have nothing to do with you, right? Don't think I dare not. Get on your knees. Get on your knees." Just then, the short-haired woman rushed up. "Teacher. To save Park Teacher." But unexpectedly, Dongzi Ji slashed directly. The short-haired woman was gone. Yi Zhongming finally successfully defeated all the hoodlums. And Park Teacher hugged the short-haired woman's body and cried her eyes out. In this desolate wasteland, human life is no longer important. At this moment, Wu Ji is here. He stares at the three-color roulette wheel in front of him. He is holding a handful of crystals, it turns out. The reason why that man became stronger. I know. The subordinate beside him asked Wu Ji in bewilderment. Can this big stone also be used for a lottery? Wu Ji gave him a blow. Don't be foolish. The roulette wheel spins for a moment and then stops. Dinglingaling. Congratulations. You have obtained the profession junior apothecary. At this time, the hooligan brought over a bag. Kid. This is the bag that was previously snatched from Liang Chuyin and the others. Wu Ji keeps rummaging through it. A few packs of biscuits. A few cans of canned food. What is this? Primary reinforcement potion. Can quickly increase human physical strength. Strength and speed greatly increased. Can be promoted to a 1-star warrior. Side effects: ordinary people will experience muscle pain all over their body. A few people cannot withstand it and will lead to death. The subordinates beside him were all dumbfounded. Big brother, how did you know about this? Five brother realized at this moment. Could it be that I have obtained the profession of apothecary and can see through the effects of the potion? He was thinking that Yi Zhongming must have become stronger by using this. So he swallowed it all in one go. The subordinates beside him were all dumbfounded. Wow. Brother, can you drink this stuff? And at this moment the fifth brother's eyes lit up. Blood vessels swelled. Just as the subordinate was about to go out to help Yi Run, he was stopped by a huge fist. Wow, what is this? A giant creature roared at him. Just as the subordinate was about to be attacked, the fifth brother rushed over and blocked it. Turned out that this was the little guy's power, a 1-star warrior. Let me try my best. And at this time, Yi Zhongming was over there. They returned to Mu Xinfei's villa. Yi Zhongming went upstairs and searched for a long time, but he couldn't see anyone. A sound came from behind. Leaf. Look, Yi Zhongming. Come see, it's in the kitchen on the first floor. There is a bloody handprint on the wall. There is also a blood letter above. The supermarket has a roulette wheel. This was left by Mu Xinfei. What's wrong with her? And at this moment my fifth brother is here. He has already defeated that giant zombie over and over again. It's hard to describe how arrogant he feels. From now on, zombies will be my prey. When his five brothers returned to their lair, they found that all their subordinates were tied up. The five brothers were furious. Yi Zhongming, I'm going to get you. Before he could finish his sentence, Yi Zhongming sensed something strange. The strange feeling, Liang Chuyin behind him asked if he was okay. A strange feeling, why did he suddenly tremble just now? A strange feeling, Yi Zhongming said he had a strange feeling. Mo Yi told him to rest if he was tired. Teacher Biu also told him to drink some water and wait. This plot seems a bit off. The Yi Zhongming and Ji Jia were riding in a military truck that was brought out of the police station, bouncing along the road. The zombies couldn't stop them at all. Yi Zhongming couldn't help but say that this truck was awesome. Behind him, Mr. Piu also sighed. It's no wonder they are guards. They have much more capability than ordinary people. They are constantly searching for supermarkets, because they need to check each supermarket one by one. Suddenly, a group of zombies rushed towards them. But they didn't seem to be attacking Yi Zhongming and his group. They were running away. Look at that thing in the distance. A mutated giant ape appeared. Is he eating the zombies? Yi Zhongming was in a panic. A mutated white ape. Evolved ferocious beasts, with immense strength and savage nature. I am only a 1-star warrior now. I can't fight against them at all. But in my past life I had experienced a battle with the white ape. I know some of its weaknesses. Oh no, it seems like it has already noticed us. Hold on tight. Yi Zhongming wanted to speed away, but he crashed into a power pole. That mutated white ape leaped up and pounded on the truck. Liang Chuyun and the others almost flew off. The mutated white ape looked at Yi Zhongming. Through the hole. Yi Zhongming opened the car door. He started to give the white ape a gua sha massage. However, it was of no use, and he was caught by the white ape's tail. The white ape directly threw Yi Zhongming to the ground. This was a disaster. The white ape let out a frenzy of howls. Its eyes turned red. It was about to deliver a punch. Just then, a volley of bullets flew towards the white ape. It was Moe. However, this attracted the white ape's hatred. The white ape rushed towards Moe. Both Piu Laoshi and Liang Chuyin were terrified. Moe unleashed another barrage of attacks. But it was all for naught. The white ape directly pummeled Moe again, and this time it was bad. It was enraged, and the white ape let out another roar. It grabbed the entire truck. This shook Pal Lalsur and the others out. The white ape grabbed Pal Lalsur's back and tore a hole in it. It seemed the white ape was about to kill Pal Lalsur. Lang Chuyin was completely helpless. Just then, a whistle sounded. It turned out that Ye Zhongming had summoned the yellow pill. The yellow pill rushed over. The dog was very agile. It wrapped itself around the white ape. He was briefly held back. Meanwhile, Yi Zhongming rushed forward. Moe a large leaf through the pistol. As Yi Zhongming caught the pistol, he reinforced it with his artisan skill. Homogeneous enhancement technique activated. Penetration increased by 20%. Stability increased by 20%. The yellow earth pill could no longer withstand the force. It was thrown flying. Just as the white ape's giant fist was about to come down, Yi Zhongming stopped him. "Hey, you white-haired freak. Your weakness is here. The white ape has finally been defeated. The excessively mutated and enhanced muscles have exposed the bones of his back. The spine is his fatal flaw. Fortunately, I used a strengthening technique to reinforce the bullets. Otherwise, even if I knew his weakness, I couldn't take him down. It seems I need to develop this craftsman skill that incorporates 5 techniques. It's truly exciting. The battle is over." A woman's voice came from the car. Liang Chuyin is disinfecting Mr. Park. However, at this moment, Yi Zhongming opened the car door. "What is this? This is really embarrassing for both of them." Yi Zhongming then walked to the Huanglian pills. Fortunately, the wound is not serious, but it will affect mobility. We must find some medicine, and here, Mr. Puss' wound is too deep and bleeding profusely. This kind of wound requires a lot of anesthetic and tools. But it seems there is a hospital nearby. They are going to search right now. Meanwhile, Liang Chuyin asked him, "What about your friend?" Yi Zhongji said, "Mu Xinfeng is very smart. I believe she will save herself. Don't worry, besides, she is a future 9-star powerhouse." However, Moe disagreed, saying that things are easily ruined. "We can split into 2 groups. You go with Mr. Park to find medicine. He'll go to the supermarket to find Mu Xinfei." Yi Zhongming directly rejected this plan. "I don't know if there are still mutated monsters on this street. You dare to take risks?" But Moe said, "Don't underestimate me. I am a security guard. You haven't seen my skills before. Don't you believe me?" Yi Zhongming was speechless for a moment. "Okay. Then be careful yourself." Yi Zhongming waved goodbye. Betrayed by teammates in the previous life, hoping for a better life in this one. Meanwhile, the 5th brother is here. He is riding a bike with his men at high speed on the road. "Abin, speed up, the stronger the wind, the more excited I am. Your 5th brother is a genius. That guy must be looking for something. This means he will definitely go to that kind of place." The 5th brother guessed that Yi Zhongji would go to the supermarket. They are about to reach the Yuehua supermarket ahead. As soon as they reached the door, Abin said to the 5th brother, "Brother, be careful. There might be trouble here." However, 5th brother was not intimidated. He had just obtained a new profession. He searched everywhere. But he found that the supermarket had been looted. Just then, they discovered a zombie. But the zombie did not attack them. It seemed to be searching for something. They followed it and heard strange noises. They saw a bunch of zombies surrounding something. Abin was completely stunned. But 5th brother was excited. Meanwhile, Yi Zhongming and the others arrived at the hospital. Mr. Park was about to collapse. The blood is completely unstoppable. Yi Zhongming is now rushing to the pharmacy and injection room at full speed. However, he was stopped by something. The smoke dissipated. "It's another mutated thing. It never ends, is it?" Yi Zhongming looked at the ape crocodile turtle in front of him. The ape crocodile turtle is different from the earthworm pill and the mutated white ape. The ape crocodile turtle is more strange and powerful, because it does not belong to the earth, but an extraterrestrial creature that came with the doomsday. These alien creatures all have a unified name. Guardian beast. Wherever there is a guardian beast, there will be some special material rewards. This alligator snapping turtle appears to be a Tier 2 guardian beast, but Yi Zhongming is unable to fight it with his current strength. Yi Zhongming quickly ran back to the armored vehicle. He searched everywhere. He took out a bag of arrows. Then he went to a hardware store. This whole operation left Liang Chuyun completely dumbfounded. Turned out, Yi Zhongming wanted to use these tools to delay the guardian beast. He wanted to use his craftsman skills to enhance these weapons. This skill not only changes the physical form of things, but also miraculously increases the inherent mass of the material. This kind of supernatural ability is like a basic magic. The bow and arrow reinforcement is complete. Next, a sturdy metal net is needed. Subsequently, Yi Zhongming found wire and green environmental net and reinforced them together. Preparations are complete. Starting the action, Yi Zhongming rushed out. Drew a full bow. Success or failure depends on this one move, that's it. The bow and arrow with the net shot towards the giant turtle. Another arrow directly hit the tail. This trapped it. Success. Now steal the medicine and then quickly escape. Yi Zhongming rushed into the medicine warehouse. Looking at the abundant medicine and tools, with these, the surgery should be fine. The crocodile turtle behind Yi Zhongming roared wildly. Liang Chuyun and the others heard the cries outside. The two of them looked out the window intently. Liang Chuyun didn't want to stand by and watch. She pushed open the car door and ran towards the hospital. She muttered, "Yi Zhongming, don't get hurt." As soon as she got in, she found the crocodile turtle across from her was frantically attacking the closed door. What kind of monster is this? Yi Zhongming was inside at this time. A second-order guardian beast is indeed difficult to deal with. It's gone mad now and I can't get out for a while. It's difficult. Liang Chuyun outside has guessed that Yi Zhongming is trapped inside. So she wants to attract the monster's attention, to help Yi Zhongming escape. And just then, she discovered 3 giant eggs nearby. What is that? Yi Zhongming, trapped inside the door, is about to give up. He thinks, this guardian beast has such a strong attack desire. Could it be guarding something important? Suddenly, Yi Zhongming saw Liang Chuyun in the corner. Is it Liang Chuyun? How did this stupid woman get in? Is she here to cause trouble? And just then, the monster finally broke through the door. His head was right in front of Yi Zhongming's face. The scene shifted. On this side, Wu Ji had already killed all the zombies in the supermarket. He pulled back a whole white cloth. He discovered that it was a brand new roulette wheel. He immediately sent his timid younger brother to collect the crystal from the zombies. He himself was here studying the roulette wheel. He found that this roulette wheel was different from the previous 3-color roulette wheel. At this moment, my younger brother has also collected the crystals. I didn't expect there to be only 9. And this time, it just happens to be the roulette spinning once. Old Z still has to wait for the S to come. The other younger brother quickly comforted him. This roulette can attract the S. There will definitely be some who will throw themselves into the net soon. Big brother gave him a slap in the face. You have the nerve to say that, while I was fighting monsters, you were peeing your pants there. And just then, the female guard arrived at the supermarket. A successful man is always supported by a woman. She sought to rescue her man. Choose to use yourself as bait to lure the monster away. Liang Chuyun stood before the giant salted crocodile turtle. However, this is of no use at all. The alligator snapping turtle roared directly at Liang Chuyun. Yi Zhongming had completely run out of options at this point, but he still resolutely rushed out, running and shouting, "Liang Chuyun! Run! Liang Chuyun!" At this moment, Liang Chuyun was about to be attacked. She pushed the alligator snapping turtle's eggs down. The eggs of the alligator snapping turtle scattered and rolled away. The alligator snapping turtle's attention was diverted. Liang Chuyun took the opportunity to flee. However, she stumbled and fell over a stone. Just then, Yi Zhongming finally arrived. He grabbed her hand. Then, he dragged her away at a frantic pace. They successfully ran out. It was a good thing that the alligator snapping turtle didn't follow. Yi Zhongming wasn't too happy. Instead, he yelled at Liang Chuyin, don't you value your life? Do you know how dangerous it was just now? Ouch, Yi Zhongming, you hurt me. Do you still feel pain? Just now, you almost lost your life. I was also a little hasty, wanting to save you. I didn't think about anything. Yi Zhongji also compromised. Actually, you don't have to, I don't need you to save me. Liang Chuying's tears were about to come out. Yi Zhongming also secretly thought at this moment. However, thanks this time, Liang Chuying. The scene changes. Mo Yi also finds the roulette. But the next moment, Wuga appeared from behind the roulette. The death didn't come. Instead, a lady came. Hey, looks like a cop. Uniform play LZ. What a blessing. Mo Yi coldly replied, I'm afraid you won't be able to enjoy it. Then he decisively prepared for battle. Heroes always appear in times of crisis. This girl was surrounded by two men by the wall. She, a woman, couldn't resist them. The men grabbed her collar and kept taunting her. Cop? Maintain justice? It's funny, look clearly. The fist is the true justice. Just as the man's fist was about to fall, he saw a smile on the girl's lips. Just then, Yi Zhongming appeared behind the man. Just 10 minutes ago, Yi Zhongming was still treating Mr. Park's wound. Mr. Park's face was incredibly red. At that moment, she couldn't help but ask Yi Zhongming if he would leave a scar. Yi Zhongming smiled and said, if you can survive, that's good enough. It's finished. You take a break. Just as he went out, Liang Chuying came over. She asked about Mr. Park's condition. But the next moment, Liang Chuying's stomach rumbled. The two of them were quite embarrassed. Thousand Leaf Bell decided to eat something first before looking for Mo Yi. Meanwhile, Mo Yi was there. Five Brother was already fighting with her. After a few rounds, Five Brother didn't know how many punches and kicks he had taken from Mo Yi. But he was completely fine and said, you're pretty cool. Then he punched again. But Mo Yi dodged it and punched Five Brother in the chest. What kind of martial art is this? But it's nothing, just like a mosquito bite. Let's continue. It was unexpected that this fifth brother took a punch and was fine. Mo Yi started to doubt if this fifth brother had mutated. Then there were a few more rounds of fighting. The sidekicks also seized the opportunity. They directly attacked Mo Yi. Mo Yi was caught in a pincer attack. He was knocked into the wall. He fell to the ground, and the fifth brother continued to attack. Mo Yi was mocked by the two of them. However, at the last moment, Yi Zhongming arrived. He gave the fifth brother a powerful punch. He stood in front of Mo Yi. This strong man has just drunk a mutated potion. He confidently wants to challenge this man before him. But he didn't know. This man has just returned from a cataclysmic disaster 10 years ago. Five Brothers saw Yi Zhongming's arrival and directly uttered a harsh word. Young man, it's you. I was just about to look for you. It just walked right into our trap. Turns out that Yi Zhongming completely ignored his existence. Instead, he went to observe Mo Yi's injuries. Seeing Mo Yi injured so badly, the guy called Five Brother is still babbling and being lazy in the back. Listen up. The words were still hanging in the air. Yi Zhongming's fist was already flying towards his face. I don't care who you are. No one can touch my people. Five Brother let out a soft cry. Damn it. Shit. Yi Zhongming felt something was wrong. His strength and speed were on par with mine. Looks like he drank the potion too. He's also become a one-star warrior, lucky him, but your attacks are completely unorganized. Yi Zhongming kicked Five Brother in the waist. Five Brother coughed up a mouthful of blood. Come on. Keep yelling. Don't think you can go 5-5 with me just because you drank the potion. This Five Brother threw out a classic saying and charged again. He easily dodged Yi Zhongming's attack again. A straight punch landed on Wu Ge's waist. Wu Ji was now completely enraged. This man was terrifying. Although both were one-star warriors, our physical capabilities and reaction times were almost identical. But the real difference wasn't that. It was my 10 years of experience. Finally, Wu Ji couldn't take it anymore. He was knocked to the ground by Yi Zhongming. Lying on the ground, Wu Ji kept begging for mercy. Who are you? Special forces? A hitman? I have eyes but cannot see. Please spare me. Five Brother did a 3-knock-9 bow. Yi Zhongming turned his head and was about to leave. But he didn't expect Five Brother to have already drawn his knife. Just as he was about to succeed, Yi Zhongji directly grabbed him. Five Brother's arm was broken. I've seen people like you many times with a lot of schemes. But the strength is pitiful. Finally, Five Brother's little brother carried him away. Mo Yi wondered why Yi Zhongming let them go. Yi Zhongming just smiled and said no. These two good brothers are about to destroy themselves. Even without me needing to do anything. After all, I understand the mindset of scumbags. In an era where the apocalypse has broken out, the evil side of human nature is constantly magnified. Brothers who, the moment before, shared happiness and hardship together. The next moment, faced with the desecration of the undead, the younger brother without hesitation pushed his older brother towards the undead horde, while he himself took the opportunity to escape. It was already midnight on this side of Yi Zhongji. They had pretty much finished exchanging the items on the roulette wheel. Liang Chuyin put on one of the necklaces. It's really beautiful. Yi Zhongming teased. This is not just decoration, this is an important prop. Even so, you wouldn't want to wear it to a funeral, would you? Liang Chuyin looked wronged. Yi Zhongming sighed. The world we used to know is gone. If we could work together, we might at least survive. I, Yi Zhongming, am not a great benefactor. You're helping me because you want to become my ally. I need your trust. Then prove your abilities. I will give you the power of the future. Mo Yi and Liang Chuyin were a bit confused beside him. Yi Zhongji explained. This is a strengthening potion, as you know. It is one of the rewards drawn from the roulette. This potion can significantly enhance human capabilities. For example, muscle strength, speed, even the body's immunity and metabolic capacity. Mo Ye realized what this was. Wasn't this superpowers? Yi Zhongming replied. Not quite that exaggerated. The roulette wheel has drawn the beginner enhancement potion. That can improve your physical function by 20% to 30%. One can deal with ordinary grief. Liang Chuyin next to him said foolishly, my physique probably won't be enough with a 20% increase. Yi Zhongming comforted him. The amazing thing about this potion is that it develops your existing body potential, and then increases it by 20%. Don't underestimate yourself. Mo Yi asked him, is it because of this potion that you became stronger? Yi Zhongming said, otherwise? Otherwise, how could I beat you? But Mo Yi didn't believe his words. You know, there's a lot of information about the apocalypse. Your fighting ability is stronger than that of a professional guard. Who are you? Liang Chuyin also said that he was strange. It feels like Yi Zhongming has already adapted to this desolate world. Mo Yi questioned again. You wouldn't know the reason for the apocalypse, would you? Yi Zhongming's eyes were about to be exposed. Could he say he was a traveler from the end times? He had to say that Mu Xinfei told him. To his surprise, Liang Chuyin actually believed him. Liang Chuyin asked again, is the potion really that powerful? Will there be side effects? Yi Zhongming's next words completely stunned her. Of course, there are side effects. If you're not careful, you might bleed from all 7 orifices and die. The benefits and risks coexist. Yi Zhongming wouldn't force them. They all need to think carefully before making a choice. Mo Yi was very direct. He reached out and asked Yi Zhongming to try it. As Yi Zhongming handed him the potion, he said, I'm reminding you again. The pain of evolution is unbearable for ordinary people. It's best to be prepared and drink it tomorrow. And Liang Chuyin beside him had finally made up her mind. She also wanted it. Yi Zhongming agreed, but said she should drink it tomorrow. Be fully prepared. You can rest early today. One more thing, pay attention to your clothes in the future. It's not suitable for action loose. This operation has made Liang Chuyin confused. The Black Knight behind her, who was about to fall asleep, seemed to have eaten vinegar. She got up and shouted, keep it down. I'm going to sleep. Yi Zhongming didn't go to sleep but stayed up to guard them, because there are still important things to do tomorrow. At this moment, Yi Zhongming and Dai Wangwan were sitting together outside to guard. Suddenly, a figure appeared before him. Yi Zhongming shouted, "Who?" He immediately charged with a Nepalese cookery. He found that it was Liang Chuing. Yi Zhongming asked her why she was not sleeping and coming out. Liang Chuing said, "What are you afraid of? Did you regret taking the medicine?" Liang Chuing, however, hugged him tightly. Not regret, just afraid that tomorrow I'll eat the medicine and fall down. I will never see you again. I can't sleep thinking about it first thing in the morning. The crowd then walked out, getting ready to start cracking V. A few minutes ago, 3 people had just consumed a potent potion. Yi Zhongming then let them rest here first. He's going to the hospital for a visit. Because he has to do important things, he is indeed still here. He remembered. He had once heard a story in his past life. It is said that the people of this city have discovered 3 guardian monsters in a hospital. Many survivors have fallen nearby. Their strength is very strong. Later, a 6-star strongman from the military took action to eliminate these 3 guardian monsters. He obtained a blueprint and an egg laid by this type of monster. Legend has it that the blueprint is a manufacturing diagram for a knife-shaped weapon. Soon after, many people in the strongman's team started to equip a very excellent silver-level battle knife. This time, the blueprint and the egg are mine. Yi Zhongming has dealt with the surrounding zombies. The next step is the final preparation. Last time, he encountered this ape crocodile turtle with no defense. And the power of the bow and arrow is too low. This pistol, although its power is small, but he has the claw tip he obtained from killing the lizard before. Directly activate the enchantment function and it succeeded. Ordinary bullets are enchanted into armor-piercing bullets. Penetration and lethality are both enhanced. Yi Zhongming told Di Huangwan to wait for him. If there are other Thongs coming, remind him. Yi Zhongming leaped into the air after speaking. The sleeping Yuan Ao Gue sensed the presence of someone around. He looked up. It was that familiar figure. Yuan Ao Gue rushed forward directly. He didn't expect to fall into Yi Zhongming's trap. The alligator snapping turtle becomes enraged when it sees red cloth. This information is indeed correct. Yi Zhongming fired a spear. It was effective. The alligator snapping turtle slapped back. Yi Zhongming dodged with a flash. Then he faced the alligator snapping turtle head-on. He held the Nepalese kukri and began a frenzy of swordplay. The alligator snapping turtle swept its tail. Yi Zhongming used the momentum to jump up. Then he leaped again. He stabbed the alligator snapping turtle in the jaw. It got stuck in the alligator snapping turtle's mouth. Goodbye. 2 bangs. The battle is over. Yi Zhongming found the blueprints. The final stage is actually a rare purple level. It also has a passive, an active, and 2 skills. Its value is almost reaching epic level. But to forge it to the final stage, it will probably take 1,000 level 5 magic crystals. I can't do that now. But I have to find a way to forge the first stage, Blade of the Moon. As for the second stage, Dance of the Sand, and the third stage, Moonlight Battlefield, anything that can be solved with money is not a problem. Old Z, a reborn person, is afraid of this? Next, Yi Zhongming looked at the pill of the crocodile turtle. This thing is called a small evolution medicine. Humans who eat this can greatly enhance their physical condition. If pets eat this, they may even evolve. Silly dog, come eat. A buzzing sound rang out, and Di Huangwan rushed over. A dog started eating right by the pot. Yi Zhongming felt his strength and energy recover rapidly at this moment. It was even more powerful than taking a 1-star evolution potion. He asked Di Huangwan to look up. After eating the eggs of the giant salamander turtle, Di Huangwan had golden crystals growing on its head. It unlocked a talent skill. Yi Zhongming asked it to use it. Di Huangwan suddenly leaped from the ground. Its fur instantly turned into blades, shooting out in all directions. Pierced the wall opposite. This stupid dog's talent skill was actually called Hair Attack, dense as needles. Yi Zhongming turned his head, but he found that Dai Wangwan's fur was gone. He even comforted it, "You're ugly, but your power is still pretty good." Then Yi Zhongming continued to forge weapons. Time is of the essence. First forge the moon of sharpness. Artisan skill activated. A blue light flashed from Yi Zhongming's palm. His Nepalese kukri rose into the air. The claw and teeth of the ape crocodile turtle, plus a second-level magic crystal, and finally it was successful. Yi Zhongming just waved gently. The stone pillar beside him was directly cut down. Then he created some weapons for Liang Chuing and the others. He was going to enhance their strength again. A moment later, Yi Zhongming returned to Liang Chuing and the others' position, holding the essence left over from the ape crocodile turtle egg. Liang Chuing said that Mo Yi had already left. "This is nothing strange." Yi Zhongming asked them how they felt after drinking the enhancement potion. "Any harvest?" Unexpectedly, Liang Chuing and the others had already dealt with a bunch of the undead. They collected a lot of magic crystals. Yi Zhongming felt very gratified. It seems like the investment finally paid off. How ruthless this man is who has traveled back from the apocalypse. After single-handedly defeating a super boss, he actually boiled its egg and ate it. Not only that, he even invited 2 girls to have dinner with him. After the girls ate, a blue light emanated from their bodies. "This is too much. It's much stronger than any ginseng or medicinal herb. Is this the essence of a mutated beast?" Then Yi Zhongming found Liang Chuin. He wanted to give Liang Chuin something. Yi Zhongming held out his hands. "It's a whip, try it out to see if it feels right. If it feels good, I'll give it to you." Liang Chuin quickly took it and tried it out eagerly. Green light crisscrossed and flashed. The ground was cracked by the whip. Liang Chuin was a little excited, because she felt this whip was perfect for her. Felt like she was one with it when she used it. It was like it was made for her. "I used to do a little gymnastics. With this, I can definitely help you." Yi Zhongming didn't have much. Instead, he looked at Shouying beside him. "What kind of weapon do you want?" She said anxiously, "Me, do I have one too?" However, she hadn't decided on a weapon yet. At this moment, Liang Chuing suddenly reminded Yi Zhongming. "Are we going to Pearl Lake?" Yi Zhongming's face darkened. "Not only will we face powerful monsters and a huge number of the lost, we may also have to endure attacks from our own kind. Are you sure you want to go with me?" To his surprise, neither of them showed any sign of backing down. Only Shouying beside him worried that she was too weak and would become a burden. Yi Zhongming interrupted her concerns. "Let's go together. Just now, I only mentioned the possible danger. I haven't said what we would gain if we were successful." After saying that, they embarked on their journey. Yi Zhongming in the car began to recall 1,000 years ago. That is, his previous life. He ran out of the house after exhausting all the food and drink at home. He ran out of the house and found the street filled with the dead. He could only shout WC and then run desperately. However, the dead did not attack Yi Zhongming. Instead, they ran towards the place where light was emitted and the horn sounded. He still decided to go back home and watch for a while. He looked out the window at the city below, which was experiencing a crazy explosion. What in the world is going on? After that, he gradually learned about what happened that day from the survivors. In the water of Pearl Lake, there was a strange roulette wheel. There were no options on it. There was only a gold ingot pattern. And all it took to spin it was a level 1 magic crystal. After activating the roulette wheel, it would be like a secret realm. The person who spins it receives a mission prompt, and previews part of the mission reward. A variety of mysterious weapons, mysterious professions, and strange recipes are all included. The outcome of that war is unclear. The forces that participated in the war were either destroyed in battle, or disappeared without a trace, or grew so powerful that he could not reach them. Yi Zhongming and his group finally stopped their car and got off. There, they would get a lot of powerful things. Enough to make them the most powerful presence in this city.